The body of a missing paddleboarder was found earlier this week outside of Martha's Vineyard. The deceased turned out to be Tafari Campbell, who we have a photo of, who was a chef of former President Barack Obama. Apparently was visiting Martha's Vineyard when he tragically passed away. He was apparently seen struggling in the water of Great Pond Sunday night before he went under. Massachusetts State Police divers found his body around 10 a.m. Monday using side scan sonar from a boat. His body was recovered about 100 feet from shore in about 8 feet of water. So this is obviously a massive tragedy, to die while on vacation. He's paddleboarding, he's just trying to have fun. And so it's devastating for him, his family, everyone who knows him. It gets a little bit worse in a way that we're gonna describe in a second, but I just wanna pause for a second on the fact that a person's life has been lost. That is going to be immediately set aside by everyone who sees some sort of political benefit to gain from the fact that a person has died. But Adrienne, what do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. It's tragic and it's unfortunate. The man was out there engaging in a leisure activity. He's top of his game and contributing to the world, the culinary arts. And for him to lose his life, it just reminds us also of the power of the water and how careful we have to be. But also the fact is that we should not let the loss of Mr. Campbell's life be overshadowed by the conspiracy theories that I know you are going to go into.
We're going to. Look, I will say I agree. I don't know when it was that I developed what I guess would be described as a fear of the ocean. I don't know, maybe it comes out of the trip that I took in the Arctic. I spent many weeks in the Arctic on a boat. I don't know, maybe it came from that. But yeah, we don't control it. Like whatever, we have all this technology and all these developments and all this stuff that we've done, all this mastery of the world. That ends like 10 feet off the shore, and then it's a different world. It's basically outer space. It is dangerous. I've come close to drowning before, let alone sharks, which I understand they don't attack as many people think, but it's still scary and it does happen. So anyway, yeah, you have to be constantly vigilant. All he was doing was paddleboarding close to the shore. He wasn't doing anything super risky. He wasn't acting irresponsible. It can just happen. So that said, President Obama, Mrs. Obama released a joint statement. Bear in mind, they have a home on the island, but they weren't there. That would seem to be a relevant fact for what we're gonna talk about. You will quickly find out that it's not. They said Tafari was a beloved part of our family. When we first met him, he was a talented sous chef at the White House, creative and passionate about food and its ability to bring people together. In the years that followed, we got to know him as a warm, fun, extraordinarily kind person who made all of our lives a little better. That's why when we were getting ready to leave the White House, we asked Tafari to stay with us and he generously agreed. He's been part of our lives ever since and our hearts are broken that he's gone. Today, we join everyone who knew and loved Tafari, especially his wife Charisse and their twin boys, Xavier and Savin, in grieving the loss of a truly wonderful man. Sad, again, everyone who knows him is just devastated by something that they could have never expected would happen. And that would seem to be enough for most people. A reminder that we live in a chaotic world that we can attempt to control, but fundamentally will never be able to. It is a wild and chaotic place. But for others, that is not acceptable. It's too scary, they get too much anxiety from that, and thus enters conspiracism. The belief that everything can be explained, must be explained, because we are too terrified of the idea that it might not be explained. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.